Hello, friends. It looks like I'm live, but I always like to check and make sure. Let me see. Sorry. I get distracted by everything happening outside of my window. Just going to go check this real quick, make sure all well. Yes, we are. All right. Shut that off. No audio. All right. Let me just arrange some things here. Hello, Leanne. I'm so happy that you're joining me. All right. I'm going to give this a few minutes to hopefully let a few more people find us before I get going today. Phone here. I am somewhat prepared and also somewhat not prepared. So we will see where this goes today. I still think it's going to be a super fun live, no matter what ends up happening. Hello, Cindy. I'm so happy that you're here. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Heather. My friend Heather just popping in. I know for a fact she is taking a lot of photos and editing a lot of project photos right now. So that is what my friend Heather is up to. Pardon me. All right. So today we are going to use the brand new Hero Arts Best Gift Ever. I think it's Best Gift. I don't think it's Best Gifts Ever. I think it's Best Gift Ever. Which has press plates in it, which I'm going to foil today rather than Better Press. It has coordinating stencils. It's a really cute collection. So that's what I'm going to play around with today. Hi, Peggy. She's just starting to photograph. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a lot of inks out. I think we're going to do like a little rainbow ink blending here. I'm using Concord and Ninth inks today, which is new for me. I just am starting a collection of them. I don't have every color yet. I did have to substitute in one light tone that I don't have currently, but I will get there. So I think that'll be fun. It'll be different, a little bit new colors for me. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, I should turn on my hot foil system and start letting it get heated up because it does take a little while to heat up. And other than that, that's pretty much what we're going to do today. I think I have the stuff to make 2 cards. We may only get to 1 card, and then I'll assemble another one after the fact as a little companion card and photograph them together. But I can't go too much over an hour today just because I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. So I did not go live last week. My mom was in town. We just kind of had a lot of stuff going on. So it didn't really work out to go live last week. And I think I'm only going to go live this one day this week. And then next week, I'll get back to more of a regularly scheduled program. I have been doing lives on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm thinking about switching to Mondays and Thursdays. I think the end of this year, the end of 2025, I'm just going to kind of start filling out what works best for me and then create a more rigid schedule. I hate saying that word, but more of a schedule in 2026 for stuff like that. So whether you're watching now live or if you're watching on replay, let me know in the comments what days work best for you for lives. I was thinking Monday I might do more of like an afternoon, like a late afternoon. And then Thursday would be my typical 11 a.m. Obviously, sometimes things change, but I would love to hear. I typically am not going to probably do lives on the weekend just because we spend a lot of time with family and friends and we travel a bit throughout the state on the weekends. So maybe here and there, but I'm probably not going to be a big weekend person. All right, so my hot foil system still needs to heat up, but what we can probably do is first we can take a look at some of the products and I can get a couple of things prepped because I haven't like trimmed down my foil or anything like that. So let's get everything switched around and we will get going today. All right, let's get this. You got a little sneak peek of the colors I picked out. Let's get that nice and centered. Well, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. Happy to hear that. Gotta love being retired, huh? Okay, so I don't have everything from the Best Gift Ever collection. I think I don't have the stamped sentiments. There's like a stamp and die set. I think I opted not to get those just because there were the press plate sentiments. and I figured that would be plenty. But I did get the press plate that has the little gift bows. There's a registration guide, which we're going to use today, coordinating stencils for blending them in, and then a coordinating die for cutting them out. So those are what I'm going to feature today. So my hot foil system is still heating up, but I do want to trim my foil down. So today I am going to use Aura foil, Aura colored, one of my faves. And lately what I have been, like my preference has been, is actually trimming it down to the exact size of my cardstock, which today is going to be, oh goodness, A2. So I'm going to trim it to 5.5 inches. Hi, Michael. Hi, Julie. So glad you are jumping on. I'm just getting started, so you really miss nothing except for the intro. So trimming that down to A2 in size. And then I have my hammer mill smooth white cardstock, and then it fits exactly. So I always used to foil on like a larger panel, and I've just gotten a little bit more frugal, and I have actually found that this has been working really well for me. So we're going to see how it goes today. All right, my hot foil system is heated up. So let's get a few things out of my way. I don't have the biggest space in the world. So we're just going to start with the press plate and the registration guideline. Sorry, having to move stuff around here. So I'm going to mention this. This registration guideline is not technically on heat resistant acetate. I wish it was, but I have used them in the past on my hot foil system and it has been okay. So we're going to try it again and see how it goes. So I am just going to tape it gently down in a couple of places. This will help me because I want to foil both the sentiment and the gifts to one panel. This is going to be a little bit of a single layer card for the initial card that I create here with you guys. And we're going to see if it works. If it doesn't work, or if we get over foiling, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll switch things up a little bit, but we're going to start with just a nice, easy thing. So I've got everything on the registration guideline. Now I am going to warm those plates up by hitting that timer button. So once that stops blinking, this will be all ready to go. Let me make a couple adjustments there. So there's no magnet when you're using this on a foil system. So you have to be careful, like when you pull it out, all of that stuff. And then while we're waiting for it to heat up, I am going to get my die cut machine in here. This always throws off my color temperature for some reason. It never used to. Maybe I have a little bit of a newer overhead camera and maybe that's it. So apologize. I think it got a little kind of orangey warm tone, but once this is gone, that will fix itself. Absolutely. And like I mentioned, this acetate is not heat resistant. So it's not a perfect science. So sometimes I haven't noticed it on the Hero Arts website, but on the Spellbinders website, when they have a registration guide, a lot of times they have an option that you can also just print. And so if you print it on just regular standard printer paper and tape it down, that works as well. I checked the website for this one on Hero Arts, pardon me, and I didn't see it anywhere. It's also probably something you could ask for. You probably just send an email to their customer service team and ask for it if you want to do a paper one. So just a couple of tips there for that. Okay, blinking light is no longer blinking. Oopsies. Sorry if you heard that, I dropped my little tiny paper trimmer. So I'm just going to get everything ready to go. When you remove the platform from the base, just be extra gentle. And if your plates move at all, you can put them back into place, but I got a pretty good thing. And then you can just use that outer guide for your cardstock. I love that about the registration guide as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it through and let's see how it goes. Hopefully we don't have any overfoiling. But if we do, I may end up die cutting all of these. We'll see. I'm just going nice and slow, pardon me, through my Platinum 6 here. Okay, let's pull that up. Pull this back through. And let's see how it went here. All right, I'm actually going to get this out of my way for now. Look at the pretty glow on that foil. I just love it. All right, and let's see how this, oh, it's perfect, y'all. Okay, I got a tiny bit right there. I bet you I can erase that away. So I'm going to do that here in a minute, but let's get all of these off so these can start, not really stuck, cooling off. And then just to show you guys, it does kind of warp your registration guideline a little bit, but it's not too bad. Apparently that's printed on the bottom. So I will clean off my hot foil system later. That will buff clean with a little bit of water. So that is foiling with a registration guideline. So I am just going to set this to cool off. And let's tackle that little bit of overfoiling we have on here. So just putting some things away. So I have one of these, I think it's a Tombow eraser. And this part right here, the darker gray, I think this is more of a standard eraser. This is a little bit of a sand eraser. And if you just get in there, gently get in there, a lot of times you can buff away overfoiling. And it's not perfect. I can still kind of see that it's there. But maybe once we have the ink blending in place, it will be okay. If not, I can always put like a little jewel or trio of something there to kind of hide it. But I did at least get away the little bit of overfoiling we had. And I'm hoping that when I go to ink blend this little present down here, that will not show as much. All right, so, and in the end, I'm going to stick with my mantra. This is handmade, not Hallmark. So we can, it's okay if there are little imperfections here and there. So the reason why I put the hot plates on my glass mat is because it disperses the heat and cools it off quickly, so I can actually now go ahead and put this away. I could have left it on the hot foil system and let it cool down with it, but this is just quicker, and then it allows me to put it away, use it in photographs if I want to, all that good stuff. Exactly, Heather. Embellishments are perfect for covering up little mistakes. I agree with that sentiment completely. Okay. And can we just talk about how awesome that foil is? I just love the Aura foil. It's like probably one of my go-tos. And I've been trying to reach for all of the different colors lately, but when you go back to it, it's just awesome. Okay. Let's grab the stencils. There are 2 stencils that coordinate with this. There's the blocks, which are the initial color, and then the decorative designs on top. I'm going to show you real quick. I did do just a quick one go already. I wanted to just test it out, make sure I was comfortable with it. And I didn't do the decorations on this option. So I am going to do both stencils on this one so you can see the difference. And I didn't do the stencil because I planned to die cut these ones out. But this is the color palette we're going with today. And once again, I'm actually using mostly Concord and Ninth inks today, which are new to me, which I'm excited about. All right, I gotta get my blending brushes a little closer to me, so give me 1 second while I pull them over. They're kind of tucked off away from me. Okay, so we'll have to do some masking on these. I know, isn't it the greatest foil, yeah? So we will have to do some masking, but let's first go ahead and put or align the gift boxes. So essentially what I'm doing to align the gift boxes is I am just finding the ends of each gift box and making sure that the stencil covers it, like so. And I have some of the tape left over from when I did the little sample, so I will just use that until is that a Tiffany's box? You should have known. The one down on the bottom looks like a Tiffany's box for sure. All right, so starting with some ballet slipper from Concord and Ninth. Just gonna blend from both edges. There is a really annoying bird cawing outside my window. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's kind of loud and annoying. All right, so don't place the, when you're masking, make sure you don't place the tape down too hard. You don't want it to pull up any of the foil that is underneath it. So I'm really truly just very lightly placing it at the edge so that I have enough room, or I have enough space to I have placed to ink blend, but I'm not pushing that down too hard. So for my reds, I actually don't even know the Concord and Ninth Rainbow, but I found that I thought honeysuckle would complement cranberry really well so the top layer will be the cranberry red. So I'm kind of just experimenting with my own color combos with these new to me inks. Okay. All right, I'm going to kind of do the same thing here. Just going to blend from each edge. Oh gosh, Cindy, that sounds terrible. Right. Okay, gently lift the tape up. Coming along nicely. Even though I am doing some masking and using multiple ink colors on one stencil, this one it does still go relatively quickly. Okay. So this is orange, which I'm going to start with grapefruit. Okay. So I have noticed that felt. Ooh, Leah, you also got to do that, guy. I have noticed that foam pads are quite a bit juicier than felt ink pads are. So I'm having to get used to that as well. But I do love these colors. And I think I'm going to do my best to collect all of the Concord and Ninth colors here eventually. Because I do love the colors that they have chosen for their inks. They're really fun. Okay. So yellow is the one where I had to borrow because I just have one shade of yellow from Concord and Ninth currently, and it's not dark, but it's a little deeper tone. So I am going to grab Lemon Whip for the base layer of this present. It is wild how also my Concord and Ninth ink pads are newer, so they're probably a little bit more full as well, but it's just a big difference between the two types of pads. Okay, so I am skipping purple. I typically do skip purple in most rainbow cards. Just is not my favorite, and I didn't have enough presents to put it in there because I also wanted pink. So I'm okay with that. All right, this guy's going to be the green present. This is right here. All right, I'm gonna go from this edge. I feel like I'm doing that a little off camera. Sorry about that. Up to that edge. We got one present left on the main, and then we will add all of the fun little designs or patterns with the second stencil. Okay, and then Aqua Sky for this one. And here's our little Tiffany's box. And this is the one where I hope ink blending kind of buffs out that little bit of overfoiling that I had to sand erase. Right. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at how the first layer turned out. And that is super fun. And look at, you can barely even tell now that the little sand eraser spot is there. So I don't have to, and like I said, I don't really want to die cut this one. I am wanting to keep this one more of a one layer card. So that is super fun. Okay, let's go in and add the details. So basically you just got to line them up with the presents, and you just don't want them to be outside of the present. So I am just taking my time. If I had used a larger, no, actually this one, because I foiled first, I would not have been able to use any alignment guides. So this one you really just truly have to eyeball. And I think we're good. Let me do a kind of a, yeah, I think we're good. Thanks, Michael. Okay, so on to our next layer. So for the pink, I am going to use Sweet Pea. And I may use smaller brushes for these guys. And then I can minimize masking a little bit too. Okay. So let's buff in those cute little stars. That one does not. There we go. It's a tiny little stencil opening right there. Okay, and then buff that clean. Oh, I'm sticking everything here. Okay, let's switch colors. This is going to be the cranberry one. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Okay, this is probably going to be very juicy. I literally just opened the packaging to this guy. And I'm hoping that honeysuckle underneath was a good fit. We'll find out. We'll find out when we do the reveal. Now this is one of those sets where you could actually bulk create these. So you could better press or foil, whatever your preference. And you could, because really you could blend these stencils out quickly, especially with the large brushes. And if you just did one color, so did all of the presents in one color, and you could do a rainbow theme, you could just pick your favorite holiday colors, and then you could, it's a one-piece die, so you can cut out all of the presents at one time with one swipe through your die cut machine. And this would be a really great set for bulk creating for the holidays if you wanted to do like a present themed set. So something to keep in mind on that. And actually, I the foil sentiments, there's only like one holiday sentiment that goes with that. There's only one Christmas sentiment in those holiday themed ones. However, where is it at? I did get this stamp set. It's this one, and it's called, which it's the Modern Holiday Greetings. Has a die set so you can cut them out, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 nice, just modern font looking sentiments. And I think that this would complement these Christmas presents really well, also. So something to think of. For if you are bulk creating anything for Christmas this year, this is a good one. Oh, I'm glad you like the cranberry. I think I like it too. I think I'm going to really love the reveal on that one. Okay. Okay, up next we're going to do pimento. Oh, you know what? I probably should mask that guy off too. Pimento is pretty deep toned. And I feel like this brush has seen better days. Might be time to go through some of my brushes and switch them out. I actually have found I'm really enjoying the mini blending brushes from Altenew. I like that they have a shorter set of bristles on them, so I feel like you have a little bit more control over them, and they don't run the risk of getting underneath your stencil as much as the ones with like the longer bristles like that. So I might be switching out for those two. I'm not sure yet. I've got so many things I can do now, and I can switch out really to whatever I want. So I'm kind of just trying things out, testing, filling things out. I don't have a good storage thing for them now currently, so I kind of go back to what I already have organized really well when I'm doing lives. But off camera, I have been doing a lot of testing of things. Okay, so we will be doing Buttercup for the top layer of the yellow present. Thanks, Heather. I love the little stars on this one. I think they're so cute. Okay. Thanks, Melissa. Oh, hi. I'm assuming maybe that might be Kelly from Hero Arts. And hi. She said she might be able to pop it. She might be able to pop in today. So I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see here. Buff out. I think I used pretty dark tones on this. So let's mask this guy off a little bit. Oh, thank you, Cindy. It is Kelly. Hi. All right, going in with Juniper. Oh, I like that green. That is a pretty green for the green present. All right. There's very, very tiny stencil openings, so trying to make sure I got all the color in there. Whew. I don't know about you, but I'm getting warm. I think the hot foiling did me in a little bit on that. Plus, you know, I'm 40, 45 technically. So thus is my life sometimes. I may pause here and drink some cool water. Hopefully that will cool me off. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. Right, Heather? Long sleeve shirt was maybe a bad idea. And I know better, but it is what it is, right? I'll get through it and then I'll take a shower after this again. Okay, finally for the final present, I am using this Oceanside ink. Just gonna buff any color out of this brush so it doesn't mix in. Ooh, Michael, that's actually a good idea. I have a couple of the Lisa Horton metallic inks. I think I have like the actual metallics, like a set of metallics. I think it's like the gold and the silver and maybe a rose gold. I'm not completely sure what the other tone is. I don't really reach for them very often. I probably should. Yeah, I know. I love layering stencils too. I am, if for those of you that have been crafting with me for years, you know, I'm not much of a colorer. I am not a big marker person. I have some markers, but I don't use them very frequently, and I would truly just rather ink blend. Okay. I am going to do a little cleanup here. And let's take a look at the magical reveal here. And let's see. Oh my goodness. They just look so cute. And look, I mean, can we once again just talk about that foiling and the holographic sheen that it has? How fun are those? So I'll clean my stencils off once we're done. So I want to compare. I did the one off camera beforehand without the designs. And so it's great. You can use just the one stencil, or if you wanted to, friends, you could do this and you could actually just use the design stencil. So it would be a fun design on like white packaging. So a two stencil layering stencil set, and there are so many different ways to do it. If you aren't into hot foiling, you could always use your better press system to press the ink into for the bows and the sentiment if you wanted, but I just love how that turned out. So I'm going to turn this guy into like a single layer card, I think. And then this one, let's go ahead and die cut these, because while I'm not going to die cut the ones I just ink blended, because I want to feature them, I want that to stay like a nice single layer, you know, kind of almost single layer. I'm going to trim it, mat it, all the things. But on the ones I didn't do the designs on, let's die cut it so you can see how cool the one piece die is. Ooh. All right. So my stuff comes as samples. So if you purchase these, you would have the pretty Hero Arts packaging and all of that. Mine just happens to come as samples. So you just find the area, you just line it up. Oh yes. Kelly is saying, or use a clear embossing ink for the detail layer and then gold heat emboss it. Absolutely. I have not tried that with my Better Press, but I've heard you can do it. So that would be a really cool idea. Okay, so I am just making sure I don't see any whites coming through on the edges here of each present. And I'm going to put that down. And we are going to generously tape this into place with all that tape I used for masking. Do not want this die to shift on me when we run it through. All right, I think that should be good. So let's go. I'm going to run this through and let's see what they look like die cut. Gotta turn my machine on first. All right, let's see how I did here. Oh my goodness. They're just perfect little presents that you can stack, do anything you want with. Oh my goodness, I love them. Got my little almost rainbow theme going on, just no purple. Can use that for stamping a sentiment later. Oh, they're just so cute. And the die is so easy to align. There's no, I didn't get any left. It didn't misalign at all. So I was able to cut off all of the white, and look at how fun that is. There's something special about this that I think it's really super fun. I actually really want to try it with just the decorative layer on white and see how those turned out too. I may have to do that after the fact and make this a little card trio. I won't have time to do it live today, but I may do that afterwards just to see what it looks like. But I just love these. And this card is basically done. I'm going to trim it. I'm going to mat it onto a card base, and I'm probably going to put some little jewels on the center of the bows. And that is going to be that card. Like, how quick and easy did that come together? Oh, I just love this. So, and who knows, maybe I will get to 2 cards today. Let's see. Let me grab the paper trimmer I threw on the floor. Give me 1 second. I definitely did not mean to throw it on the floor. But I just want to trim this down. And so I'm going to have to kind of make a judgment call here and there. But I love that I have this little wire guide that I can kind of take a look at the edges and make my trim so it's nice and even. Because I think I foiled this maybe a tad wonky. So, and it's not going to be able to beat 4. So this is going to have a pretty thin mat on the card, and that's okay with me. I just want it to have a little bit of a mat at least. Right. 1 more trim. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I just love this, y'all. This turned out so darn cute. Okay. So, I did cut the card base panel, but I did not have a chance to fold it. So you're going to kind of do everything with me here today. Right. Well, I think it is my overhead camera. Oh, hey now. I think it does not love the color, like, it doesn't love when things are like bluish toned. I'm realizing it throws the white balance off. Okay, I think I'm going to put a color underneath it though. So let me grab, these are from the Hero Studio, the October kit. And let me just see what I have left. Some scraps that need to go in. Red seems like a bit much. Oof, yeah. Let me check out the pink real quick. Lighter pink? That's a maybe. So that's a possibility. I want to check out this yellow too. Oh, that makes it a little too birthday-ish for me. And the green, I think, is maybe just going to be a little too dark. Yeah. It's that kind of golden tone. Okay, you guys tell me which color you think would be best. Kind of leaning towards the pink, but that's just because it's me and I always lean towards pink. But I think the gold and yellow is kind of a nice pop underneath too. Let me know in the comments which color you guys think is the best option here. And I will reorganize this card stack. This will eventually go into like my scraps or cut down, but just haven't had a chance to right this second. Got quite a few people saying pink, or a couple people saying pink thus far. All right, pink or golden yellow? Pink, 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 okay? It's going to be very small mat, so. All right, I think we're going to go with pink. Thanks, friends. Let me trim down a panel of this to cover the card front with. Apparently I'm hungry. Okay. There we go. And pink for sure. All right. Well, pink was the clear winner on that. So I always loved having a little bit of interaction. And it makes it sometimes so I don't have to make all the decisions here. Okay. Just using a little liquid glue to cover this. Hi, Susan. I'm not sure if I saw you pop in, so I'm going to say hi now. And then this guy, I'm going to pop up with some foam. Oh, so darn cute. I just love how colorful and cheerful this is. Ouch. All right, so if you've been crafting with me over the past year at all, and I know my lives have been a little sporadic, but when I am live, I talk about how when I moved, I just found all of this. I just had rolls and rolls and rolls of unused foam adhesive. So my goal this year has been to get through all of those random rolls of foam adhesive because I don't like to waste things. A lot of it was gifted to me. And so I never look a gift horse in the mouth. I think that's the saying, right? And so I am to the thinnest little bits of foam tape that I have. And I am probably going to have to place, I would say I will probably end up having to place an order for foam at the end of this year. But how cool that I have pretty much crafted for an entire year without having to buy a roll of foam adhesive. I think that's pretty fantastic. Oh, hi. First time watching. I'm so glad you joined me, Susan. I hope you're enjoying what you see and you'll come back next time. I haven't mentioned this yet, but it is in my video description, but I know that we don't read video descriptions much, right? I did want to mention my YouTube channel is still growing. It was neglected for such a long time because I was just busy on other ones that I just didn't put a lot of time or effort into growing my own channel. So that is what I'm currently doing. So if you're not subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. And then if you hit the little notification bell, I think it will tell you when there are new videos or when I'm going live, all of the things. So I would love for you guys to do that if you haven't yet. And then also in my video description, there is a place to sign up for emails. So if you want to get email notifications about new posts, giveaways, live stream save the dates, click on that. It's under the Connect with Me section in the video description. And you can sign up for emails there. And I would love to have you join me. It was pretty awesome, Kelly. It's what you do when you start moving and you start packing boxes and you start finding all of these places where you like tucked things. So when I unpacked my room here in Montana, I made sure to put everything in that was of like like types in one area. I've also been going through, I probably had 10 bottles of these like glue tube type of adhesive. So I've been working my way through that. I haven't bought one iota of adhesive since this year. So I feel pretty blessed to have found all of that. It's pretty cool. Soon enough, I am going to have to start buying adhesive again, but I got lucky this year and have been able to not. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some jewels to the middle of these gift boxes. I think I'm going to use my very favorite, the Aura jewels from from Spellbinders. And let's see, I just got to kind of figure out sizes here. I like this bigger guy on this one that has more of a knot, just because I think that's cool. Thank you, Leanne. All right, and then that guy can probably have more of a mid-sized, I think. Kind of kicking myself for not grabbing the stamp set that goes with the Best Gift Ever collection, because there is a tag in the die set that would have been perfect. Like, we could have foiled this. I could have foiled this on a separate piece and then popped the tag up, but that is okay. I don't have to have all of the things, right? I can make do with a couple of things that I choose here and there from each collection. And I am grateful for what I get. Aren't they so pretty, Melissa? These are my all-time favorite jewels. Actually, I might go a little bigger on that one. I am actually down to, I actually need to I need to stock up and order some more of these. I use them on pretty much, I use them on pretty much every Spellbinders project I create. I use them on a lot of Hero Arts projects too. And actually, I use them on a lot of projects. So it's time to stock up again. I'm down to my last couple of packs. And I typically, ooh, that one's too big. I don't like that. I typically try to have like 3 or 4 packs on me at a time, and I've let my supply dwindle a little bit. So it's time to grab some more. So I will put an updated supply list, like a complete supply list with ink colors and all the little bits and pieces that I used. I will update my video description with that later on today. Right now, it's just a general link to the Best Gift Ever collection. So, but I will make sure I update and give you guys a full list of everything. So if you want to shop your stash, if you want to actually shop for a couple of items, I will make that easier to do so. This will also go on my blog here in a little bit. So keep that in mind. I know they are the only ones that do that little teeny tiny size, which I just love. And I have found if you have an embellishment tool with a craft pick on the end, they grab that adhesive on the bottom really well, and then it makes it a little bit easier, especially to put those little teeny tiny guys in place. So I don't know if I'm going to actually assemble another card, but we have a little bit of time, and I can go a little over an hour. I just can't go much past an hour because I got some other things I got going on today that I need to get to. So I may just do I may not fully assemble, but I may just do like a general idea of how I want to assemble those other packages. I think we're going to stick with white on this one, which means stick that down. Okay, so we kind of want to stick with, I want to make like a little holiday, like a fun little packet, like stack of holiday presents. Let's see. Actually, it might be better to go like so. Let's see. Trying not to cover all of the, might do pink on top. There we go. So let's go like that. Then pink on top. And I might flip the green out this way. And then add yellow on top. And then maybe blue. See, this is why. This one I probably need to fuss with a little bit more. So I think we're going to do, that'll be a general consensus. This is probably going to change. But then I thought, I do have the foiled sentiments, which I could foil a sentiment and add it in there. I also could use that sentiment set I showed you that I really like from a previous release. I don't know where I put it, of course. That was like a little bit more modern typeface. I have fully misplaced it now. That's okay. So I am not going to fully assemble this card anyway, but I think I'm going to create like a stack of presents like this, and then either foil or stamp a sentiment and probably throw it in here and all of those goodies. But I am not going to do that live today. I am just going to fuss around with that a little bit off camera. So when I photograph and share, be sure to check out you can check it out on like Instagram or Facebook, wherever your preference is for this finished card with the die cut pieces. And I may end up doing a trio because I actually really want to try them with just the decorative piece on top. We'll see what I think of that one. All right, friends. Well, I think that is everything we're going to do together today. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to cut off a little bit early, but I had so much fun. Let me put the camera back on me and we can say adios. Okay, get this out of my face here. All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun with this fun best gift ever collection. A little something just for you. I think that this could be given at any time of the year. You could do Christmas, it could be a birthday, really anything. So I am going to fuss around with the placement of these Christmas gifts, the ones that I die cut. So be on the lookout for that one a little bit later once I take the photographs. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Cindy and Michael. And I'm going to let you guys go early. I'm going to go grab some lunch and I'm going to drink a little water. I'm maybe going to go stand outside because I'm dying of heat right now. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. So just the one live this week. I should be back to a more normal schedule next week. I may try out the Monday, Thursday feel and see how it goes. It would be Monday afternoon, kind of later afternoon, and then Thursday at 11 a.m., kind of my normal time. So I hope you'll join me. Sign up for emails if you haven't, if you're watching on replay. Thanks so much for catching the replay. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the video comments. The live chat will be closed at that point. Thank you, Kelly from Hero Arts. I'm so glad that you popped in today. I had so much fun creating this colorful little card. Oh, thank you, Melissa. It's a little messy. My mom's house that we're living in right now is teeny tiny and my room is teeny tiny. And so it's a little bit of a mess, but I do appreciate that. I do my best. I do look forward one day to having a little bit larger room with a big closet. That will be mostly where most of the stuff gets stored. Thank you, Robin. And thank you, Leanne. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Great week. I hope you have a fun weekend. And I probably will see you here on Monday if you're able to join me. Bye, guys.